second graders. Mrs. Hurst here. Mrs. Peters is at her house. This is our final book in the Humorous Characters series. We're super excited. This is another Miss Nelson book. Man, that Miss Nelson last book was really funny. Let's see what happens this time. Miss Nelson is missing. The kids in room 207 were misbehaving again. Spitballs stuck to the ceiling. Paper planes whizzed through the air. They were the worst behaved class in the whole school. "Now settle down," said Miss Nelson in a sweet voice. But the class would not settle down. They whispered and giggled. They squirmed and made faces. What is happening here? It sure sounds like Miss Nelson is not getting any respect from these students. They were even rude during story hour. And they always refused to do their lessons. "Something will have to be done," said Miss Nelson. Oh, did you see the student on her head? Oh, man. The next morning, Miss Nelson did not come to school. "Wow!" yelled the kids. "Now we can really act up." They began to make more spitballs and paper planes. "Today, let's just be terrible," they said. "Not so fast," hissed an unpleasant voice. I wonder who's hissing in an unpleasant voice. Unpleasant means unfriendly, right? What does not so fast mean? Means you'd better rethink that, huh? A woman in an ugly black dress stood before them. "I'm your new teacher, Miss Viola Swamp," and she rapped the desk with her ruler. "Where is Miss Nelson?" asked the kids. "Never mind that," snapped Miss Swamp. Open those arithmetic books." Miss Nelson's kids did as they were told. Arithmetic is another word for math. Look at this list in Miss Swamp's hand. Work to be done. Math, poems, English, history, geography. I wonder why the kids did as they were told and not when Miss Nelson was in the class. They could see that Miss Swamp was a real witch. She meant business. Right away, she put them to work, and she loaded them down with homework. Look at what's happening. What do you notice? They are doing a lot of work, huh? "We'll have no story hour today," said Miss Swamp. "Keep your mouth shut," said Miss Swamp. "Sit perfectly still," said Miss Swamp. "And if you misbehave, you'll be sorry," said Miss Swamp. The kids in room 207 had never worked so hard. Days went by and there was no sign of Miss Nelson. The kids missed Miss Nelson. I'm sure they did, huh? "Maybe we should try to find her," they said. Some of them went to the police. Detective McSmog was assigned to the case. He listened to their story. He scratched his chin. He said. I think Miss Nelson is missing, Detective McSmog. Would not be much help. Other kids went to Miss Nelson's house. The shades were tightly drawn and no one answered the door. In fact, the only person they did see was the wicked Miss Viola Swamp coming up the street. If she sees us, she'll give us more homework. They got away just in time. Maybe something terrible happened to Miss Nelson. Maybe she was gobbled up by a shark, said one of the kids. But that didn't seem likely. Sharks, very unpleasant, says the sign. I know, exclaimed one know-it-all. Maybe Miss Nelson's car was carried off by a swarm of angry butterflies. But that was the least likely of all. The kids in room 207 became very discouraged. It seemed that Miss Nelson was never coming back, and they would be stuck with Miss Viola Swamp forever. Here comes the witch, they whispered. Hello, children, someone said in a sweet voice. It says, the capital of England is London. The capital of Sweden is Stockholm. The capital of Japan is Tokyo. The capital of Italy is Rome. The capital of Greece is Athens. The capital of China is Peking. The capital of Denmark is... And his head is in the way. It was Miss Nelson. Did you miss me? She asked. We certainly did, cried all the children. Where were you? That's my little secret, said Miss Nelson. How about a story hour? Oh, yes, cried the kids. Miss Nelson noticed that during story hour, no one was rude or silly. What brought about this lovely change? She asked. That's our little secret, said the kids. Look how perfect and sweet each of them is being, huh? What do you think is Miss Nelson's little secret? We might know because we've already read another Miss Nelson book. Back home, Miss Nelson took off her coat and hung it in the closet, right next to an ugly black dress. When it was time for bed, she sang a little song. I'll never tell, she said to herself with a smile. P.S. Detective McSmog is working on a new case. He is now looking for Miss Viola Swamp. Do you think that Detective McSmog will find Miss Swamp? I wonder. Well, this has been Miss Nelson is Missing. It's been fun. Bye, second graders.